Hello and welcome back, folks, to another day on Magic Arena, where we're doing the humans again, and luckily we have our deck quest that happens to make us do white and black spells with our humans that I've lost. They're down here. I was doing a live stream and edited a lot of decks, lost place in my deck. So this is the deck in general. It's a technical deck. It's not intended to be a beatdown deck, although it can go that route, I suppose. And it's supposed to kind of just find that thing that your opponent can't deal with. I've mentioned it in the first video. I'm just going to say, you know, the summary of that, and that you can find it down in the description. Also, I post my decks to Discord. You can find that link down in the description as well. So, I mean, that's the deck, and one person had a comment about a specific human that I didn't have in the deck, but I mean, let's just be fair on this. Don't have every wild card on the planet, so but it is a good suggestion. So if you're looking to make this deck in some way or fashion, consider it an option. So it is 2-drop, and it's one of the pirates. Stupid search human pirate. There, Dawn. Simpler list. And that's because I don't own it, and that's why it's not working. Warkite Marauder. Very viable creature, can knock out some really annoying creatures, potentially. And, I mean, with the +1/+1 stuff, sure. Definitely viable. So, yeah, good suggestion. I'd definitely put one in if I had one, so there you go. Anyways, let's get to the game. Right here. And we're already on humans. Awesome. See you there. Alright, we're up against mythical features, and they're on the play to start, so... and mulling. And we'll be doing the same. So we have a couple 2-drops. Easy to run with. What do we have on top to make it all come together? Who knows? Now, I've done a lot of... yeah, you're fine. I've done a lot of extra playing, and I can guarantee there is one card that this deck does not like, and that card specifically is Walking Ballista. It just shreds this deck. So unless you find your Fatal Push, it's probably not going to work out for you. And yeah, I've just had a number of them where it's just like, oh, yeah, instant concede. Just can't do anything about it. Just throw the Freebooter out. If they've got an Essence Scatter, they got an Essence Scatter, but that's what Freebooter's for, is to clear the way. And it did that. Now, I do like having Freebooters for alternative purposes beyond that. Let's see. Benalish Marshal's not bad. We want the Siphoner here. Unless you've got another Essence Scatter. Are we going to get nut-drawed by control? We're going to get nut-drawed by control. Oh. Observe as this gets countered. Cynicism. The best solution to making sure that you don't get screwed. Oh, Glint-Sleeve Siphoner in this particular matchup. Now you can go kill it. And now the 1-for-1 value is in our favor suddenly, except for their card draw it looks like they're doing right now. No, they're not. They just don't want to care about the Militia Bugler. Fair enough. Nice Field of Ruin. Right now, anyway. They're kind of getting to that spot that makes them, you know, a little too far ahead, I think. So they got something. It's a murder. Very well. Well, sure. Let's get the Siphoner out there. Do you have a third Essence Scatter? Oh my goodness! It's gonna be one of those days. Get freebooted, sucker! Do you have an answer for this one too? At least we get to see the hand. See how stripped they are of resources, really. Vraska's Contempt. Forcing out a Vraska's Contempt on a freebooter. We still get to see the other hand. Torrential Gearhulk, don't play a land. Otherwise, I'm going to just play filler. Tapped land, you say? Okay, so this is our opportunity to, I guess, just bugle, I guess. Get into a Siphoner. Okay, so, Gearhulk. With 3 Essence Scatters. My goodness. Yeah, this guy had a pretty good hand. Let's face facts. Our opponent had a pretty good hand. Okay, so how do we get around a Freebooter? Or a Gearhulk? I suppose we can go this route with it. Don't tap my black. It's alright. We have Benalish Marshal anyway. So we're going to do pre-combat. And force our opponent. There we go. This is fine enough, I suppose. Alright. This does allow for Vraska's Contempt, and we're just going to say no go on anything here. Oh, they got the manual tap going right now. So the Contempt gets used. The Gearhulk gets used. The Benalish Marshal gets wrecked. But we still have a Skyship Plunderer. Additionally, Gearhulk is going to eat probably the Darfleet Poisoner. Is your next card a removal spell too for the Plunderer? Come on. Stop getting nutty here. Opponent potentially all the hits. So here's the question. Is it a counterspell? Not yet. Oh, send the Plunderer. Is it a kill spell? Vraska's Contempt. Fine enough. All the hits, all the time. Well, we'll play the Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. He's out of cards. We're going to attempt to draw cards. But Vraska's Contempt on, you know, a 2-power flyer feels good. Draw a card. Okay, that's something. I think it's something that starts with this. What's your card? I want him to reveal it. Just reveal it. It's Glimmer. Okay. To the bottom, which means he doesn't have the solution and he's waiting on top decks. How lucky are you? Disallow. Convenient. Alright, well. Send this. Try to get that card draw engine going. And we've had a number of extra advantages. I mean, he's had Glimmer. And that's where that number ends. Just Glimmer. Nice Gearhulk. Did you land a hit off your top deck? They had a hit off their top deck and it happens to be Counterspell. Yup. We'll still be drawing cards, no blocks. I don't think he understands that Gearhulk's keeping him alive right now. He is not in as good a situation as he thinks he is. But then again, if we draw land, we're in a bad way. Alright. So, do I cast out this or do I cast out something worse? That's the tough decision. But I mean, if he just top decks something perfect here, then I want to have the cast out ready. I'm going to just generally ignore this Gear Hulk. Now he could have another Gear Hulk, which would probably be the thing that gets us. So, yeah. Don't worry about it. In other words, send it. Opponent's drawn strong, but yeah, not quite there yet. And that Gear Hulk's not killing us yet either. He's drawing lots of lands for what it's worth. So this thing's not yet a problem, since we still have the Bugler and the cast out, in case it gets real tight. Okay, he's looking at his mana for something. Take action. Okay, this gives us at least another creature. City's Blessing as well, so we're in a much better spot. And now the Gear Hulk really isn't that profitable to them, unless this happens to be removal. Alright, so definitely get the Mimic down. And if that's a counter spell, then okay. I guess. Sort of thing. Well, they have to respond. Okay. Is there a fatal push involved here? Might be a fatal push involved here. Get the planes. That's not it. Something's in his hand. He does have some white mana, though. He's kind of tricky about it, just kind of tucking it off in the corner there. That's worth a push. And this is worth a cast out. And that's worth an explosion. Alright. So our anti-control elements then. Duress and Cabal. And their removal was primarily Vraska's Contempt's pushes and such like that. So I guess Knight of Grace, based on what they were doing there. Yeah, okay. So how many cards do we have to remove from here? 7 cards. So what is not going to cut it? Everdawn Champion's not going to do much. Hostage Taker still has its uses, of course. But I think, yeah, Knight of Malice will tone down on those as much as we saw the white. Keep the value, keep the duress guys. The poisoners are kind of that gray area. Drop some pushes. Drop all the pushes. We'll win through combat. Yeah, try that. Opponent still deciding. Now this is where we're going to see stuff like Golden Demise. So we have to play around that particular thing. That's what I fear is going to happen. The white might just simply be splash for Teferi. So we'll just play with the utmost of caution around Golden Demise if it's possible to. Although, with the white, they may actually have Fumigate in their board, who knows. This hand is not very playable. This hand is a little more playable, and Skyship Plunderer is not a Golden Demise thing, but it does provide energy. Now. Alright. Campbell is pretty good. Human. This way we can get Glint-Sleeve Siphoner on 2 with energy, so if he doesn't have that Essence Scatter, Duress gets nothing. Sucks to be you. Why would you... Is this a deck that needed to side in Duress? I mean, was that really a... Well, that was a near miss. Fatal Push? No Fatal Push. Cast down? Because this is a pretty good spot. Our opponent may be going on to a more proactive plan for all we know. And we'll pay this for sure. Alright. So the way this is going to go to dodge Golden Demise is Radiant Destiny. We're playing them. Then we're dropping Campbell when he's in a rougher spot. When his counterspells are being taxed a little bit. Okay. This keeps the Siphoner safe for a turn. Keeps our energy flow going. So we just keep taxing them here. That's how this whole thing works. So, another Radiant Destiny? Are you loaded with counters? The answer is no. So that one lands. This makes more of our stuff beefy. Now we can play the creatures with a little more safety because Benalish Marshal and Cabal, even though they were safe before, are going to definitely be a little bit more troubling for our opponent. That's a full-on contempt. Opponent's going to be finding out what's coming for him real soon. Jam Kimball. You know what? I'm going to jam this too. We have an extra energy for it, so let's just go for it. This puts you in a tougher spot. Now that the contempt was used, yeah. Feeling pretty good. Using something. Torrential Gearhulk main. Targeting. Cabal. Yep, and that's what Cabal does. Immediately forces an answer. We're going to draw some cards and get some more cards. And by the way, we're going to get some cards. So, Benalish Marshal right here, right now. This demands an answer. And we have the Direfleet Poisoner for the Gearhulk if he gets a little frisky. Which, he's at 13, so he better be a little careful about that choice. So let's see if he's running Fumigate. The Eldest Reborn. resolve. I'll get rid of the Benalish Marshal. I'm okay with this. And if he attacks in, then he's gonna... I'm not gonna use the Poisoner on that. I'm gonna kill him with it instead. Lots of cards to draw. And Unclaimed Territory is one of them. Let's go with those. And then this. This lands on Hostage Taker, which forces an answer of our opponent. So yes, we'll take that. Now this does allow him an extra cast when it happens, but we're going to just take it out of our opponent's way anyway. Yep. Discard a card, sure. We have nothing to do with all that. Now we're going to just simply cast the Gear Hulk. If he has an answer to it, then he has an answer to it, but we're just going to cast it. Okay, that forces his hand. So, he explodes. Okay, there you go, folks. So, a little bit of Esper control, just couldn't get the job done. Not very effectively. They got a little closer in game 1, but game 2 was no contest. But also we got the pack because we just blew through those white-black spells like crazy. Gets us a Goblin Trash Master. I could make a whole bunch of snickering comments about this, but I mean, Goblin Trash Master. Goblin Lord? Get some Radiant Destiny going? I know I've seen someone try this before and it never worked, but it's an interesting thought. Always an interesting thought. Anyways, that is our second set of 3 games, or best of 3 games anyway. Another just straight destroying of our opponent there. Hope you enjoyed, folks, and that's Humans once again. Take care. Bye-bye.